This is the only video that you need if you struggle with moving the arms when you're out dancing at a party. And if you want to become a skilled and competent dancer, I prepared a 45-minute training. It's a free training. It will be super helpful. I'll link it below. But in general, guys, arms, I always say that they can make or break any movement, and it's very easy to make them look awkward on the dance floor. Like, I can tell you, I've seen enough of different versions of the arms. If you're doing too much with the arms, if the arms are like all over the place, if you're forcing them to move, they won't make you look good. But then on the other hand, if you're not moving the arms, if you're kind of keeping them timid, like tense in one position or just hanging there, it's also affecting everything else that's happening with the body. It doesn't matter if your steps look great, your hip movements look smooth. If the arms are like this, we have to fix it, okay? All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to explore different actions. So I'm going to teach you how you can know what to do with the arms, even if you don't know any arm dance moves, so to speak, because we don't want to make anything too complex with the arms when we're dancing. You don't need technical moves. You're not trying to like perform on the dance floor. We just have to make the arms look good. So the first thing we're going to explore, like I said, actions. Think of a verb, what you can do. For example, just to give you an example, up and down, moving the arms up, moving the arms down. It's not a dance move, everyone can do that. But how we make it look good is we have to match it to the movements and pretty much experiment. Some combinations will be okay, some might look a little crazy. But this is the safe example that I like to use. If we do our little hip up motion, we need something simple with the lower body, so you're not thinking about how to do this, and you can focus on the arms. So let's move the arms up and down, slowly. Again, up and down. That's all you need. As you're lifting the arms, pay attention to the position of the hands. Make sure the wrists are not broken, because then if you lift the arms, it doesn't look right. Make sure you're not holding hands, because then again, it affects the motion. Just keeping the wrist straight, hands relaxed, and this is what we are after. We can also do something simple like a bend, right? We can do that. Everyone has elbows. We can bend in elbows. And those movements, mind you, they work better with footwork. So if we're doing something like a basic step, let's say heel in, something like that, something nice and easy for the dance floor, you can easily match the arms to it. So doesn't matter which arm, just bring it up a little bit. Right? And that already looks a little bit better than this. So we want the action to be small, and I want you to like find your own, experiment. You can even like pause this video right now and let me know some options below. Like, what else can we do? Up and down, bend, snap. Another easy action would be a scooping motion. Again, it will work with any step. Let's say I'm stepping forward. Pick whichever arm you like, and at the very same time, scoop. At the end of this video, stay tuned, I'm gonna give you the tips on how to make those movements look so much better. I'll teach you everything I know. Another way you can find great looking dance moves is by exploring different levels. Just to give you an example, I saw Taylor Swift doing something like that recently. Like, she had her arms behind her ears, elbows are kind of higher, and she's just grooving. That's an option. Let's say we'll pick an action. I'll do something else, like a cross open. We'll do this movement, and notice that we can do it on 3 different levels. We can stay in front of the chest, we can get lower, kind of swing the arms here, or we can bring the arms up and do the same exact movement. So we want to be able to change it up a little bit, so we're not doing the same thing over and over. So I encourage you to do any step and then just keep switching the arms. Play with the levels. You want to experiment with different options and just be prepared that not all of them will look right. So for example, if I pick a random action, kind of bring one arm up, one arm down, it will look kind of okay if it's up here, but when it's down, it kind of looks weird. When it's like in mid-level, right? And low level, I don't even know how to do that. So let's stay here. Like, some movements you'll see. You'll see what works. Last thing I want you to try with the arms, the easiest thing, keep them in one position. Not for too long, but let's say you want to, from time to time, give arms a break. So it's perfectly okay to just keep them kind of swaying here, like loosely bent, or just down for a few seconds as you're moving. I'll show you in a second how to like mix it all up to make it look the best. It's totally okay for the arms to have little breaks. It looks more natural this way. So one of the positions that I like to keep the arms in is definitely here. It's the most comfortable one, but also in this position. So let's say I'm doing something where we bring the arms up, and instead of bringing them down right away, I would keep them over the head for like 3 seconds and then bring the arms down. So you can mix it with our actions. This will also look cool. And let me give you guys some tips to actually make those movements look even better. Tip number 1, you want the arm moves to complement whatever else you're doing, not overpower it, because we don't want usually the arms to be in the center of attention unless maybe we're doing those like goofy, funny moves. But in general, if you just want to look natural, the arms have to go with whatever else the body is doing. This is when it looks the best. You don't want the arms to be too noticeable. Tip number 2, be aware of your hands. We don't want to see any like creepy fingers or holding hands together or those loose broken wrists, because again, even if you're moving the hips really well and you're moving the torso and you're trying to do arm movements, let's say the up and down action, but the wrists are like that, or you have like something weird with the fingers going on, it's not going to look right. It messes up the look of the entire movement. So don't do that. Tip number 3, watch the pace at which you're moving the arms with. So if you're doing something smooth and slow with the hips, let's say a figure 8, and you're moving the arms kind of quick with it, if you're doing maybe like rolls or something, or up and down, but the arms move quicker than the hips, it doesn't look right. You always want to match the pace of the hips with the arms. This is when it looks better. It looks like we want the arms to match the pace of whatever the hips are doing or whatever the torso is doing. Try to keep it the same speed. Tip number 4, you want to mix it up. So don't stick to one specific action or one specific level for too long, because then the arms will look robotic, you're going to look stuck. You always want to keep switching and give the arms breaks in between where you're just resting them in one position. This is when it will look the most natural. Your arm movements won't look forced. They won't look like you're trying to do too much, you're trying too hard. Everything will just flow together. And tip number 5, move arms with purpose. Make sure any movement that you're doing, it is decisive. We don't want timid movements. We don't want to look shy with them, because arms are very noticeable. It's the first thing people see when you're on the dance floor. So if the arms are moving not so confidently, it will affect again how everything else is looking, how you look dancing. So whatever you're doing, even if it's a simple action such as cross and open, instead of going like that, where I kind of want to do it, but I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, or I don't want the arms to be noticeable. Trust me, this is more noticeable than you putting effort into making them look good. I hope those tips were helpful. Again, if you want to become a skilled and confident social dancer, watch my free training. I'm going to link it below. I'm going to teach you everything that's needed for being that person on the dance floor that's enjoying themselves, that's having fun, having the skills, having the confidence. It will be super helpful. If you want to learn with my guidance and feedback, and you want to join hundreds of my clients currently in the program, I invite you to book a call with me. Link is below, and let's get you dancing. Enjoy moving the arms, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.